LeBron James had a lot of memorable games in his career. Shit, you probably know him for the 45 points, 15 rebound, shooting like 75% from the field. You know that game 6 against the Celtics, where he was all staring and shit and it became a meme. Yeah, we all know that game. You probably also know him for that 41-point game in the 2016 finals that gave him the momentum to close it out and come back from a 3-1 lead. You know that game. But today, we're talking about the 5 most underrated games of LeBron James' career. Number 5 is the game that won LeBron James the 2009 MVP. Now, I mean, throughout the whole season, LeBron James definitely deserved that MVP. He had one of the best peak seasons ever and also of his career. But this game kind of sealed it. In New York, he dropped 52 points, 11 assists, 9 rebounds. He was 1 rebound away from having the greatest triple-double in MSG ever. I mean, obviously it didn't happen though. LeBron James dropped this and it sealed his MVP, and this MVP was huge for his career. This was LeBron James' first MVP of his career, and this solidified that he was the best player in the league at the time. Not only that, why this MVP was so important for LeBron James is this season was remarkable. Besides 2013, you can argue this as the best LeBron James season ever. And shit, as a regular season, to me, it might be his best regular season besides 2013. In 2009, LeBron James averaged 30 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists. And he shot it very efficiently. He shot 49% from the field. And not only that, in his playoff run, he was remarkable. In that round against the Magic, he averaged almost 40 points a game. And it was just a remarkable season for LeBron James. This game in New York, it just solidified an amazing season. Probably the best peak season since we saw 2000 Shaq up to that point. Okay, now at number 4. In 2017, LeBron James dropped 57 points, 11 rebounds, and 7 assists on 67% shooting. And this started his 2018 MVP campaign. When you look at totals, LeBron James killed James Harden in the MVP race, as in having more totals and all these different stats. But I wouldn't make that the reason that he should have won the MVP. I feel like James Harden did deserve the MVP. But this game really did kill the wash narrative. In this part in LeBron James' career, he was 32 years old. People thought he was being washed, you know what I mean? He didn't have Kyrie or anything like that. He didn't have elite help for the first time in his career in a long time. And people really thought that he was going to struggle. But then all of a sudden, on the 9th game of that year against the Washington Wizards, he just went off. And it was also very impressive considering this team had a pretty bad fit at the time. It had some talent, like, it had Dwayne Wade and Jay Crowder and shit like that. But it had no fit at all, no scheme. It was weird. It was just a team of a bunch of people who can play basketball. And even then, like, Dwayne Wade was in the very late part of his career after coming off many injuries. So he wasn't even that impactful. Why this game was so important to LeBron? Because this would obviously start his 2018 MVP campaign. But nonetheless, this kind of started an amazing season for LeBron James and one of the best seasons of his career. And at number 3, we have the game in which he returned to Cleveland. Now, I know I really shouldn't be putting this over a lot of important playoff games that he's won, but I think it was very impactful. LeBron James on his return to Cleveland, there were posters outside saying he was a bitch. All that stuff all around the arena. Shit was crazy. The announcers were even saying that it was a fucking madhouse in there. So this game was huge for LeBron James. And LeBron James ended up dropping 38 points, 5 assists, and 2 steals, shooting 60% from the field. And this was in 2010. This was huge, man. LeBron James just left Cleveland based on the decision. And yeah, it was a very hostile environment. And shit, LeBron James, as we know, he pulled it out. And then at number 2, as one of the most underrated games ever, we have LeBron James' most underrated finals performance ever. In Game 5 against the Heat in the 2020 NBA Finals, LeBron James dropped 40 points, 13 rebounds, and 6 assists on 85% true shooting percentage. This man was going off. 71% from the field, 67% from 3. This was ridiculous. This game was so ridiculous, but it will always be overshadowed with Danny Green missing that shot. And, people in the end were saying LeBron shouldn't have passed out that shot. Like, bro, he had a triple team coming on his way. If he was to take that shot, if he missed that shot and doesn't hit a free throw or doesn't even get to the line, people will start narratives again. So I don't understand the reasoning for that. But yeah, for the second most underrated game of his career, it is Game 5 of the 2020 NBA Finals. He was truly remarkable, man. That was prime LeBron. I remember that whole finals I was watching. I watched as a Heat fan, obviously. I love the Heat. But I was like, bro, there got to be some point in which LeBron just start breaking out. And shit, this was his game, even though they lost. And then at number 1 for the most underrated game of LeBron James' career, it was the legacy game before the legacy game. When we think of the legacy in LeBron James, it was Game 6 versus Boston in Boston. And he dropped 45 points, 15 rebounds, 76% from the field. He went off. He shut Boston up. Then it led to him winning Game 7, and they went to the finals. However, though, that game was very important, but it wouldn't have happened with this game. Against the Pacers in Game 4 of the 2012 Eastern Conference Semifinals, LeBron James drops 40 points in an effort to keep the Heat alive. If they lose this game, they go down 3-1, and there's a chance they don't even make the Eastern Conference Finals. They don't even make the Eastern Conference Finals if they lose this game. So LeBron James comes and has one of the best games of his career, shooting well from the field, playing amazing defense, passing at an all-time level. LeBron James, this was probably the most important game of his career up to this point. And shit, without this game, that game in Boston don't happen because the Heat go out in the second round. The Heat with LeBron James, D Wade, Chris Bosh go out in the second round if he don't win this game. Alright, and thank y'all for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe if you're new. It says about 70% of the people that watch my videos aren't subscribed, so make sure to hop on that. And yeah, we're gonna try to get back to consistency, bro. It's been a minute. Let's get back on the grind. Thank you for watching. Leave a like if you like it. Subscribe if you new. Yeah, thanks for watching the video.
Yeah, niggas switching up on they bros, yeah. Changing up for these hoes, yeah. That's why I don't fuck around. Ay, smoking up dope out the zip. Y'all niggas savage, we still remain trip. My niggas savage, we clutch on that grip.